Hi, in this video, we will learn all about shares issued for consideration other than cash. We'll begin by understanding the difference between shares issued for cash and shares issued for consideration other than cash. Shares issued for cash. Shares are said to have been issued for cash when the company receives cash against the shares. Shares issued for consideration other than cash. Sometimes companies also issue shares for consideration other than cash, such as against purchase of land and building, plant and machinery, or purchase of business or services taken. The purchase of an asset and the issue of shares are two separate transactions. Therefore, entry is to be passed separately for each transaction. Disclosure in the balance sheet. Shares issued for consideration other than cash are required to be disclosed in the balance sheet. It is disclosed under subscribed share capital, either as subscribed and fully paid up, or subscribed but not fully paid up, as the case may be, in the notes to accounts on share capital. In this video, we will learn journal entries where shares are issued against 1. Purchase of asset, 2. Purchase of a business, 3. To promoters for their services rendered, and 4. To underwriters for their services rendered. We will begin with journal entry for purchase of asset. The journal entry for purchase of asset: sundry asset account debit to vendor account for purchase of assets from vendor. The amount is the amount of the purchase price or the purchase consideration. 2. Journal entries for purchase of business. We need to debit each sundry asset taken over individually with the value of the asset at which it is taken over. We need to debit goodwill account to sundry liabilities individually with the value at which the liability has been taken over, to vendor account with the amount of the purchase consideration, and to capital reserve account, the amount to be written against goodwill or capital reserve will be just discussed. Now the vendor account has to be credited with the amount of the purchase consideration. The purchase consideration is the amount which is paid by the purchasing company in consideration for purchase of assets or business from other enterprise. It may be given in the question, otherwise it will be equal to net assets. So the amount which is paid by the purchasing company to the vendor is called purchase consideration. If it is mentioned, the given value will be written against to vendor account. In case it is not given in the question, the amount of purchase consideration will be equal to net assets. And what is net assets? It is the sundry assets which are taken over in total minus the sundry liabilities which are taken over. Now we discussed that goodwill account should be debited or capital reserve account should be credited. Where the purchase consideration is greater than the net assets which are taken over, the difference will be debited to goodwill account. On the other hand, If the purchase consideration is less than the net assets taken over, then the difference is credited to capital reserve account. And as we just saw, net assets is equal to the sundry assets taken over minus the sundry liabilities which are taken over. And purchase consideration is the amount which is paid by the purchasing company to the vendor for purchase of asset or business. Where the purchase consideration is equal to the net assets taken over, there will not be any amount written against goodwill account or capital reserve account. The two items will be omitted from the journal entry. Third, journal entry for amount due to promoters. Sometimes company may issue shares to promoters for their services which are rendered to the company. From the accounting point of view, it is called incorporation cost or formation expenses. Hence, this amount is debited to incorporation expenses account, and the journal entry to be passed for the amount due to promoters for the service is incorporation expenses account debit to promoters account with the amount of incorporation expenses payable to the promoter. Fourth, the journal entry for amount due to underwriters. Underwriting means a contract by which a person who is known as an underwriter agrees usually for a commission to take up the shares which is not subscribed by the public. The companies may issue shares to the underwriters instead of paying the underwriting commission in cash. The journal entry for making the underwriting commission due to the underwriters is underwriting commission account debit to underwriters account with the amount of underwriting commission due to the underwriter. So we just discussed the first journal entry where the amount is payable to a vendor for purchase of assets, that was 1. For purchase of business, that was 2. For services rendered by promoter, that was 3. And for amount due to underwriters in the form of underwriting commission, which was 4. Now the second entry to be passed is for the issue of shares. Let's learn the journal entries for the issue of shares to the vendor or to the promoter or to the underwriter. Where the shares are issued at par, the journal entry is vendor account or promoter account or underwriter account debit to share capital account. Against vendor or promoter or underwriter account, we will write the amount which is payable to such vendor, promoter or underwriter. And again, share capital account, we will write the amount equal to the number of shares allotted multiplied by face value per share. The formulae for ascertaining the number of shares issued or allotted we will discuss in a short while. The narration, we need to write the number of shares which have been issued, the face value of rupees what each, issued at par for consideration other than cash. Now in case the shares are issued at premium, we need to debit the vendor account, promoter account or the underwriter account with the amount which is payable to such vendor, promoter or underwriter, to share capital account with the amount equal to the number of shares issued or allotted multiplied by the face value per share, and to securities premium reserve account with the number of shares allotted multiplied by the premium per share. And in the narration, we need to write the number of shares issued of rupees whatever the face value each, issued at a premium of premium per share for consideration other than cash. Now we were discussing about the number of shares allotted or issued The formulae for ascertaining the number of shares allotted or issued is equal to, we need to take the amount which is payable to the vendor or to the promoter or to the underwriter and divide it by the issue price of the share. The issue price of the share, where the share has been issued at par, will be equal to the face value, and the issue price of the share, where the share has been issued at premium, will be equal to the face value of the share plus the amount of premium per share. It is important to note that the details about the shares which have been issued, that is the number of shares which have been issued, the face value, issue price, whether at par or premium, they have to be specified in the narration to the journal entry for issue of shares for consideration other than cash. Now that we've learned the journal entries for issue of shares for consideration other than cash, in the upcoming video, we will solve example sums to understand this concept better.